in. Today we'll be doing a mental health live. I used to do these monthly and I really want to bring them back. So here we are, bringing them back. Hello, first viewer. I'm so excited. Oh, did I change it to. I'm still getting used to this whole live stream thing. I had to change it to all messages so that I can get everybody's messages. Um, We're just gonna wait a couple more minutes for more people to come in. But for those of you watching the playback, I am currently taking sign-ups for spring tarot readings, only $35 for an unlisted video by yours truly doing a spring tarot reading. And I will be doing those for the next 10 days. So if you want to sign up, let me know. Yeah, that was for the playback. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. Just a minute or two to see if more people will come in. Otherwise, we'll get started. I'm so excited to bring these back. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so if you're in the chat, say hello. Don't be shy. But yeah, I'm just chilling, I'm just vibing. We are going to be doing, if any more people come in, I could start off with the Q&A, or we could end with the Q&A, depending on when people chime in. But also, we will be doing some journaling, so be sure, if you're watching, to take your journal out and have that prepared with your favorite pen. And also feel free to use any other things like markers, stickers, whatever. Make it personalized, okay? I only have so much time though, so I will just be writing. And then also we will be doing a collective tarot reading. So I actually made playing cards into a tarot deck of sorts. So we're going to be using that for messages. And then I also have two self-care decks that we will be pulling from as well to see what self-care we need to do. And I will end off this live either after the Q&A or after the tarot reading with a little group meditation for everybody so we can all, tune in and really just kind of take that moment to really just center ourselves before going to bed tonight. Which is ironic because I actually have a meditation group in the morning to attend to, so I will be very much, very zenned out over the next 24 hours. And then I'll be even more chill because I'm going to be hanging out with a friend tomorrow. I was thinking about starting my vlog tomorrow, but that's a whole other thing I wanted to talk about. That I'm vlogging for the next week. I've been really inspired by MacDizzle420's stoner vlogs, as mine won't technically be a stoner vlog. Mine will just be kind of a week in my life / kind of a theme. So yeah, I'm excited. So there'll be no videos this week because of that. I want to dedicate the content for this week to this live stream for people to watch and tune into if they'd like to say hello. There's already 4 people in here. 4 is a party, okay? If you really think about it, if there was 4 people in this room right now, well, it would be 5, including myself. That would be crazy. It's Tori! Sorry, I'm really lit. I haven't smoked from a wrong. If you catch my drift, I can't say certain things on here. But if you catch my drift, I haven't done that in a while. And I am up there. But it's good because I like to be, like that when I do my tarot readings a little bit. So I'm going to be really tuned in, guys. So get ready for all of this. But welcome in, everybody. I kind of mentioned before a little bit of what you can do to prepare. We're going to give everyone another minute to come on in. But Have a notebook or journal ready to go if you have one, or a piece of paper even ready to go. And I'll give you guys all a minute to get that, and a pen, because we will be doing some journaling. I will also be pulling and doing some tarot, um, and getting some messages, and also some self-care messages. Yes, girl, go grab your pen and paper. Or a journal if you have it. Girl, do you have a journal? You need to have a journal if you don't already. It's literally my second best friend, besides Anthony. It's literally the number one thing I go to, and I don't even just have one. I have two, technically three. One's like a guided journal, so I don't really count that one. But the other two are like my writing journal. Actually, I have three actually, technically, because I have the writing journal, I have like a planning notebook, I guess is a journal, not really though. And then I have my hobby journal that I keep track of stuff in. So, highly recommend a journal. I do a lot of that here on my channel. It's like my favorite, besides coloring, it's my favorite form of coping mechanism. But anywho, I hope you all are ready, because we are going to start off. Tori, so it seems like you're the only like active member so far. I always fluctuate with how many people actually tune into my lives, but I haven't been live at this hour before. I'm usually typically in the afternoon kind of gal, so I'm trying something different. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. I'm trying something different, but do you have any Q&A questions you want to ask me? Or do you want to think on it a little bit, and then we do the journaling first? I wasn't sure when to do the Q&A part, because I said that I would do a mini Q&A, because I know some people have a lot of questions and stuff for me. I like typical subscribers. But yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. We could do a mini Q&A sesh first. Otherwise, if I don't hear from anybody, we'll get right into the journaling and tune back into the Q&A if more people come along as we keep going. But yeah. I'm just gonna take a sippy of water. Oh, advertisement. I hate ads. I know they're just trying to get themselves out. But that's why I hate advertising myself too, because I just hate seeing ads. I'm like, I don't want to spend more money. And even though like I'm trying to be like, sign up for a tarot reading for $35 before before March 20th, like 10 more days. Get just a $35 spring tarot reading, because that's really cheap. If I'm being honest, that's really cheap for tarot readings. So I'm shocked that people aren't getting onto it, but it's okay. I know we all get a little broke sometimes, and I get it. Or you just might not know too much about tarot, and I've seen that a lot with my subscribers. Like there's some of them that love tarot, know what it is, etc. But also there's some that they just really don't know what it is, or don't get it, or just don't vibe with it even, so. One of my friends started recently and did my reading, and I was like, wow, you are very stuck in life. Yeah, kind of depending on the cards that you get to and stuff, but yeah. There's a lot of correlations with things. These ones, I made my own kind of tarot deck, essentially, and this one has like the meanings on it, so as I do the reading, you'll literally see the meaning on it, so that's why I like it, instead of just like imagery, I guess. Which I do like doing as well for tarot reading, but using the imagery in the cards, but also just, you know, sometimes I just vibe with the playing cards. I literally just made these recently, so I've only done, what is it? I only did this for one client so far. I had one client so far for the spring tarot readings, and I used this in it, and yeah. But anywho, Let's get into journaling. I feel like this is a good time for us to get into some journaling. So I was kind of thinking about, what's going on astrologically in the world. Not necessarily politically or anything like that. I was just merely thinking about like where the planets are and how we're in eclipse season, and also there's a Mercury retrograde happening right now. Excuse me, and it's in Pisces, and a lot of the other planets are also in Pisces right now, like Venus, Mercury. I think there's one more, but I can't remember the other one. But there's a few planets that are actually in the sign of Pisces right now, so it's kind of like the trifecta kind of thing. I forget the exact words that they use. I think it's one more because, like I said, there's four planets um, that are going through this, and we're also at the end of the Lunar New Year. So, you know how you typically think, oh, we're at December 30th, like Tori's birthday. Happy belated. Like Tori's birthday, like say if you're like, oh, it's the end of the year, I gotta figure out, my goals, my resolutions, all of that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's not really the new year. My birthday. um, yeah, it's not really the end of the year. It's really now that's the end of the year. Like, right now is a perfect time to really kind of focus on what exactly you want to do for the next year. It is the portal to do that, because right now, also, with this Mercury retrograde and everything, it's like, it's definitely a time to really just kind of sit back and reflect, not sign any paperwork, not do anything super, crazy or anything, just kind of laying low and reflecting and really kind of, also decluttering and prepping for the new year, aka the Lunar New Year, the year of the horse. So right now we're still in the year of the snake. So we're shedding, or at our last shed cycle. 'Cause I think, how long does it take for snakes to shed their skin? Let's Google it. How long does it take, oops, not caps lock, for a snake to shed its skin? 1 to 2 weeks. So yeah, you're definitely kind of in the middle of the last kind of shedding cycle in your life. 2025 was definitely a big shedding year, kind of getting rid of things. So now is the time to really kind of hone in on what else you want to release. You know, um, this kind of ends, like I said, March 20th. So, with that being in mind, I'm just going to change this a little bit before March 20th. I wrote in spring, but honestly, this all needs to happen within the next 10 days. So, our first prompt is, what do I need to release before March 20th? Hi, Mandy. What's up? Welcome, welcome in. We're actually just about to start journaling, so if you want to take out your journal along with us while I do this mental health live, feel free to join along. So the first prompt is, what do I need to release before March 20th? Because like we were just talking about, March 20th is kind of the start of the Lunar New Year, the first day of spring. So let's take some time now to kind of list off some things that we want to release before that happens. What do I need to get rid of? What do, like, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, what do you need to get rid of? And I'm going to separate mine into those things. So mentally, emotionally, and physically. And let me know if you need me to repeat the prompt at any point. And if someone wants to write the prompt down actually in the chat, that would be really helpful. Again, what do I need to release before March 20th? I will be sharing my answers in this live. Thanks, Tori. Alright, I will be sharing my answers like I said, but the journal prompt is in the chat. And if you need it again, just let us know and Tori can copy and paste that. Mentally, I am getting rid of mental clutter. I am really gonna I've been starting this already. I actually finished a whole astrology workbook in like 2 hours. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of like just mental stuff lately, and essentially I just also just need to do some more of that. I have, like I said, that guided journal that I've been wanting to work on of turning my, trauma and emotional pain into poetry. So, really been wanting to do that as well. So that is definitely something I plan to do. I'm just gonna make a note of this guided journal. And also mentally, I want to let go of lack of confidence. I am way too hard on myself, and after doing that astrology workbook, I've realized that I have this perfectionist mindset because I have a lot of Virgo in my chart. I have this kind of tendency to feel like I'm lacking, that I'm, not doing enough, that I'm just, sometimes I think I'm a loser and stuff, and it's not great, and I need to really kind of change that mindset a little bit, which I feel like will come with cleansing the declutter of my mind, but also I just need to get back into changing my thoughts around, getting back into that positive mindset. Easier said than done, but, working on it over the next week, 10 days, I should say. Emotionally, what I've been processing in EMDR. If you don't know, I've been doing EMDR. It's a form of trauma therapy since about almost a year ago now, which is crazy. And I've processed a lot during that over the last years. So I feel like it would be really good for me to kind of sit down and just kind of process that, maybe cry a little, like just kind of take time to really kind of think about it, and physically, I'd like to release any leftover declutter and social media also, just some things which I've been wanting to do for a while now, but at the same time I'm just like, I just need to go through my social media and just like, figure out what works. What's been working is Facebook and Instagram on my computer. I just need to go through what I'm following on those things. And then also just on my phone, how I'm using my phone, what all the apps and stuff. So just kind of doing that. That's my little plan. Alright, prompt number 2. How can I get more organized in my life? How can I get more organized in my life? Again, you could do mentally, emotionally, physically, which honestly I'm thinking about doing, because that kind of makes sense, but it could also just be in general. So just generally, how can I get more organized in my life? Thank you so much, Tori, I appreciate it. my answers are mentally, this is kind of physical in a way, but I was thinking more or less things that I needed to organize that help my mental health. And one of them being my journals, figuring out exactly, are these the right things that I should be journaling about? Because I have a journal that is in sections. I call it my stoner fairy journal. And I love it. And I feel like I could be using up the spaces a little bit more concretely. So really just kind of going through that. Um, and also checking in with my other journals and stuff. Um, and even figuring out how I can incorporate art journaling into another journal and start that up again. And my altar, just kind of organizing my altar a little bit, figuring out kind of a, schedule with that. I feel like I only really connect to it like once a week right now, and as much as that's great, I definitely want it to be more of a, a regimen of sorts, daily routine. Coloring books and pencils, yeah. And then instead of emotionally, I couldn't really think of much for emotionally, so I changed that to financially, having a concrete budget. I realized this month, with having, you know, going down the physical media route, I spent a lot over the last 2 months for my physical media things, so I just really need to take a step back and really save more, really have a concrete budget each month of where I'm spending my money and not, spending a lot of it in the first week, stuff like that. I was just thinking earlier today that I wish I could have afforded to buy colored pencils or markers. Yeah, a Dollar Tree is great. Um, you feel it on a spiritual level? Yeah, same. Just having a concrete budget just to know where my money's going, tell myself I don't need to, I need to spend right away. I can take my time throughout the month. I need to do like a week by week almost budget for myself. That's how much it is. I've done monthly budgets, but I just really, need to just do week by week. Yeah, honestly, Dollar Tree, not too shabby for colored pencils and markers. You gotta be honest. So, just don't use their brand. Try to use like more name brands because they started to bring in more name brand stuff to Dollar Tree. So, try to look for more not crappy brands. um, and then lastly, physically, I need to organize my exercise schedule. Just figure out when I'm going to go for walks, when I'm going to do dance, and when I'm going to do yoga. So, yeah. Those are like my 3 favorite exercises to do. So prompt number 3, we have 5 prompts in total, by the way. So prompt number 3 is, what are some ways I can self-soothe in my life? What are some ways I can self-soothe in my life? So self-soothing is a form of dialectical behavioral therapy, for those of you that don't know. Just to give you some examples of some self-soothing techniques. That's a very hard word to say really fast. So what are some ways I can self-soothe in my life? Some examples are deep breathing, taking a warm bath, listening to calming music like lo-fi, like I have on in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I just didn't want it to be super loud. Engaging in repetitive motions, so like stimming almost, or using comfort items like weighted blankets or a stuffed animal. There's a bunch of others, so you can actually do it by all the senses. So if you want in your journal, do touch, sight, sound, smell/taste, movement, and you can even do like self-compassion if you want, like what kind of thing for that. So some examples for each. So touch, use a weighted blanket, take a warm shower, bath, pet an animal, put on comfy clothes, or give yourself a massage. For sight, it could be looking at soothing images, dimming the lights, watch a calming video, maybe light a candle. Sound, like listening to calming music, white noise, or listening to a podcast might be soothing. Smell and taste, you can put on some essential oils or in your oil diffuser. burn candles, like I said, or drink herbal tea. For movement, maybe do some gentle yoga, progressive muscle relaxation, or grounding techniques like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, if you know what that is. And self compassion. Write about your feelings, like journaling, practice positive affirmations, or just simply just pausing when you're stressed to really kind of deeply get into that emotion. So, those are some really good examples. So, I am definitely going to do it by, I love how we're categorizing in each of these. I'm going to do it by just one self soothe technique for each of the five senses. So, what are some ways I can self soothe in my life? So, touch, sight, sound, smell/taste, movement, and self compassion. Alright, so mine, for touch, I said use weighted blanket / my Patrick Star plush. That one's really good for when I get cramps, the Patrick Star plush. And then for when I'm going to bed and stuff, I always use my weighted blanket. Watch calm/comfort videos, especially on YouTube, watching some Game Grumps or any of my favorite, YouTubers, just to feel like, get a laugh or just kind of, hang out and chill with some calm, like stoner videos, whatever it may be. Sound, listen to a vinyl or CD, just literally sitting and just like looking out the window and just listening to a full album on vinyl, like at least one side, has been really comforting for me. So that's definitely one. Smell/taste. So for smell, I put using essential oils, and for taste, I put drinking herbal tea. That has been so soothing for me. I honestly might have some before bed tonight. Um, for movement, gentle yoga is always my go-to. And self-compassion, I love using positive affirmations. So prompt number 4 is how can I connect to someone or something I want to attend to or is positive for my life. So just either think of a person or a thing or something like that you want to connect back to that was positive for you, or something that you stopped doing that you wish you kept doing. You know what I mean? So how can I connect to someone or something I want to attend to / is positive for my life? you. I appreciate it. I kind of brainstormed these actually a little bit earlier, just when I was thinking about all this. Oh, Tori, I think you missed the other prompt. So this was actually prompt 4, and prompt 3 was what are some ways I can self-soothe in my life? I'm not sure if you missed that or not. It's okay. I'm trying to think what I want to get back to. So I really been trying to stay away from my past, but I feel like there's something in particular I want to get back into. I've literally been talking about it. I'm like, oh, duh. Yeah. So for me, it's getting back to creating art on a daily basis. I have been really slacking on that, and I love creating artwork. I just, I don't know. I don't know what's been up with me. I just don't go to it. Like, I literally have a painting sitting here on my altar that I could be working on, but I haven't, and I feel really bad. I started it, for sure, obviously, and it's for an exhibit, I should say, at a museum that's going to be happening. So it's definitely something that has a deadline, but I just haven't been working on it, and I need to, because I have been enjoying creating it. I don't know. But that's definitely something I want to get back into and connect with, and making it like a daily habit in my planner. I don't know what this was, but we'll move on. Um, da, da, da. And then prompt number 5. So the last one is, what are my intentions for spring? So now that we've figured out what exactly we need to release, how I can get more organized, what are some ways I could self-soothe, and what you want to get back to. Now we can kind of make like your top 3 intentions for spring. So I'm just gonna put like 3 stars because those are like my bullet points. Not gonna lie, that's very similar to mine. I've had so much time to listen to new music and color and haven't done it as much as I have, mostly because of my OCD, I think. It happens. It's just kind of like you get involved in other things, that other things kind of take up your mindset. So it's not like you don't like it, you just have been more drawn to other activities. So yeah, that is definitely something I want to get back into. In coloring and stuff, like I've been working on a puzzle book, that I'm also coloring in. It's like a kids coloring or activity book, but I've been loving coloring the unicorns in it. It's just been so like inner child-esque. Um, I'll probably be working on it tomorrow, to be honest, as my like coloring / activity to do, because I've just been loving it. But yeah. What are your top 3 intentions for spring? Me too. Oh, I have some stickers that I think I might give some to you, because I got way too many in that book. So if you want any unicorn stickers, they came with unicorns, mermaids, fairies, all the magical shit. Honestly, that's why I got it, and it was only $3. $3 from Barnes and Noble. Super duper cheap. And the astrology workbook I mentioned earlier, $1. I got it from the cheap section at Barnes and Noble. There's like a little, you know, yeah, basically. I guess they have a cart now. They just randomly put in Barnes and Noble that are all like marked down things. So I was like, I'm getting this. I don't want to have to pay like $10 for it, so I'd rather pay $3. Yeah. But yeah. What are top 3 intentions for spring? bridesmaids dress. My sister's sister-in-law might do my alterations if needed. Nice. Yeah, intentions could be like the things that you're really intending to do, like goals or whatever. So I'm making mine more a little bit broad though. You can make intentions broad, but having like a set thing to do also is really good. I'm trying to think of what my third one is. Oh. Alright, these are mine. Very straightforward things that I think I can accomplish. I think I can accomplish these things this spring for sure. Step number one, getting my life back together. And what I mean by this is I feel like my life is pretty together. However, I'm kind of unemployed. And with being unemployed comes a lot of free time. I mean, I am job searching, of course, but that's also a part of it. But I also have a lot more free time. I can only spend like an hour doing job hunting, like sitting on a computer for an hour, and then that's it. That's all I can do. So because of that, I have a lot of extra free time after that. So like obviously I have chores, and obviously I want to work on Star Sketch stuff, but like I need to fucking have a schedule for myself because I feel like that would really, really help me. And I used to do this all the freaking time when I was growing up. Literally knowing what my morning routine was, what I was doing, like a day to day, every single day. The night before, I had a whiteboard, and I would write, 8 a.m. wake up. This was even when I was unemployed and wasn't on social media. Even this was way before Star Sketch. Like when I was off social media for like 2 years and didn't have a phone and stuff. Like I literally wrote out a schedule for myself every single day to stick to. And excuse me, with having the privilege of being able to be on social media or having the option of being on social media, but myself realizing I could take a step back. I don't need to be on constantly. That's why I have a laptop. I can connect whenever I so please and not feel like I'm missing out on anything or whatever. But on the day-to-day basis, I don't always check it. And so basically, I need to be on a schedule so that I know what I'm doing during that time period. So I really want to get back into that. Create way more than consuming. I feel like right now I'm like this, where creating and consuming are kind of at the same level. I want to double my creativity time. I want to stop consuming a bunch of YouTube videos, stop consuming stuff, like maybe have the TV on in the background or something with a movie on while I do something creative. That's fine. But instead of just watching YouTube, I could be doing something while doing that. So I need to double my creativity time and save more, spend less. Period. With that concrete budget that I want to put myself to. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that is our journal session. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I can't talk. Thanks so much for joining in on that. Now, we are going to do the tarot reading and see what pops up. I don't think we'll have time for a meditation. I'll try my best. I'm trying to get off of here by 9-ish. So, see what we can do. I only brought out 3 decks, so it shouldn't be a long reading. But feel free to feel free to keep your journal or piece of paper out still. Maybe flip it over. Maybe get a new piece of paper if you need to. Because, girl, it is best to take notes during a tarot reading. I wish I could take notes, but I'll have to do that afterwards in my own journal time. But definitely take out another piece of paper or your journal again and make a separate piece to kind of explain, this is your tarot reading for spring, collectively. Now, I can do a personal one for you if you're watching the playback or watching this live. I do personal readings. I typically do them for only $20 for a monthly reading. However, I am doing a special duper duper sale because usually I would charge about $50 for this. But for only $35, which is super cheap on the market, honestly, I've seen readings similar to what I'm doing for almost $200. Yes, they might be certified and stuff, but $200 is a little ridiculous, um, in my opinion. But some people do that for their full-time job. So for me personally, in my life, and not being certified, but to have had the knowledge now about tarot for the past 6 years, I think $35 is really fair. And I do already have a client that I've been seeing for about a year or two, consistently, and he just did this personal spring reading and really enjoyed it. And all you do is just send it to me for 35. If you would like to sign up for one, to my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. I have those linked in the description under the Linktree link. Literally, you just send that, and um, you'll basically get a unlisted YouTube video from me. I'd obviously have to figure out your contact info and stuff. I'd probably make a comment on there like, oh, okay, here's my email. Let me know when you know, need to, if we want to communicate, we'll do it over email or whatever other social media. I have options, so we'll hitting each other up there. But yeah, that's all you have to do to sign up for it. This offer will only be happening till March 20th, and then after that I'll be going back to just month-to-month readings. Possibly, you know, obviously some people want to do the spring one because it covers pretty much 3 months, for only $35, so let me know if you're interested. But without further ado, let's get into the collective spring tarot reading. This is kind of similar, but I'm using way less decks than what I do in personal, so just keep that in mind. So Spirit, connecting with my collective here, what is it that they need to focus on, and what are their intentions during this time, or what's going to be happening? We have a lot coming out already. We have loss, money, etc. We have misunderstanding, disagreement, worry/guilt. Thank you, Spirit. A reminder, we are in Mercury retrograde time. Communication is awful right now. There might be heightened emotions right now, especially arguments, disagreements. You might be feeling like you're lacking some money right now. You might be feeling a little cheap. Calling me out. And just misunderstandings, disagreements, but because of all this going on, you're either directly involved or not really involved, but you still have this this feeling of worry or guilt about this situation. So because of that, it is deeply important to do those self-soothing practices that we were talking about in the journal session. Okay? Thank you, Spirit, for that reminder of what we're going through right now. And mind you, this is happening until the 20th. So we're going to be going through this for the next couple. But afterwards, we're achieving goals. Okay? I know it might be like backwards for you guys, but it's okay. We are achieving goals. Okay? Whatever intentions you wrote out, make sure that you go back after this live stream, kind of, you know, figure out what the intentions are and seeing if you can break them down into really tangible steps. So definitely, you know, you're going to be achieving it. Just have that kind of positive mindset going into the spring, because spring is going to get us. Like, we're planting the seeds now for it to grow hopefully after the spring equinox, okay? This is a time for planning, reflecting, all of that, like I've been saying. What did I just say? It's a time for planning and preparation, okay? This is the time for us to pull out our planners, pull out our journals, and really get down to what it is we want to plan out. You know, I kind of already started this, but I still do have a lot to do. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. It is definitely also a time to turn inwards with this Four of Hearts card. Really take the time to, if you meditate, perfect. This is the time to do it. Hey, dork. I know who that is, but I'm not going to say who it is. It's someone I know in personal life. Anywho, turn inwards, you know, just like deep breathing is going to be really helpful during the springtime. Springtime, you also probably think of Earth Day or at least nature, so which is really relevant right now because we need to be doing those grounding techniques. Really breathe with me, okay? This is our little group meditation. I didn't really plan for it, but we only have so much time anyways. But let's just take three deep breaths together, okay? I feel like we do, as a collective, need to do that. Zen. um, Club Penguin taught me about Earth Day. That's so true, actually. I feel like Club Penguin would do that. But yeah, turning inwards, doing those grounding techniques, doing that inhale for 4, hold for 5, exhale for 8, changed my life. We have the Queen of Hearts here. So, I had pulled this card for my personal reading recently, all about emotions are running freaking high right now, okay? So don't be discouraged if you feel like you're more tired than usual, or you're crying a lot more over stupid things, or if you just feel overly emotional. Girl, it's not just because you're on your period, okay? Your girl might have started. Um, Sorry, Anthony, in the future. But, and I'm sorry, Tori, because, you know, we're going to be seeing each other tomorrow. Um, Emotions are running freaking high right now. Real though, I don't cry so much with my meds, but like, I know it's coming. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's needed to happen. It's needed for us as a time to really just express our emotions, you know? Be honest, be real. This is the time to do that. And I'm not even just saying this, but this is the time to really get honest with yourself. Get honest with the people around you. If you're talking to somebody romantically right now, I'm not trying to call out some of my friends here, but I know some people that are in the dating world right now. Um, really be honest with them with what your intentions are, and also just in general what you're looking for. You know, this is a crucial time, especially because we're in Mercury retrograde. It's really testing our relationships, not just romance, not just friendships, not just family, all the relationships in our life. You know, whether close friends, distant friends, um, lovers, family members, you know. It's really time to get honest with yourself, honest with them, having deep emotional conversations, okay? That's what's coming up. Deep emotional. Maybe even having some deep emotional, like, journal sessions I'm seeing. Anything else, Spirit? Any last minute messages here? Hard work and reliable. These are your traits. This is our traits during the springtime collective. We are going to be so reliable, you know, nothing's going to come past us, you know, we're not going to be the ones to cancel on people, we're not going to be the ones to be doing that, no, 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 but there might be some people that might be doing that. And I've been through that before, of last minute Larry's being like, I can't hang out today. And I'm not saying this to you, Tori. I know we're hanging out tomorrow, and I'm so excited. But like, I've had this happen to me before with past friendships, being like, you know, oh, I'm not gonna come tomorrow. I have this, this, and this. Like, coming up with every excuse in the book. Like, literally an hour before we hang out. Like, no, bitch. Us as a collective that are tuning into this right now, we are reliable, we're hardworking, we're getting our shit together. Okay? We're getting our shit together. Girl, we gotta talk about that tomorrow. Ooh, do I have stories that I have not shared on here? And I'm not going to, because I don't want to put that onto here. But we could definitely talk more about that tomorrow for sure. Alright. Let's see. Self-reliance. Okay, with independence in reverse. I feel like that's going to be something that we need to focus on over the next season. is really to focus on where you need to be more independent in your life, you know? Don't feel like you need to always have that person by your side or need that mentor or need that assistance. Maybe we can do it ourselves. You know, don't wait. This is a time to not wait. Even though I said before to really like lay low, when it comes to like your goals and your habits, things that you can control, that's what I mean that you need to work on to go for it, essentially. All right, last message, Spirit. Wisdom, patience, and diplomacy. Okay. Top 33. Top 3 things right here. Wisdom. How can you gain some more wisdom during this springtime? Is there something that you've been wanting to learn more about? Is there something that you want to do deeper with yourself? Like maybe connecting to nature more, meditating in nature, doing some journaling, creating more artwork? What is it? Excuse me. How can you be more patient with yourself and others during the springtime? You know, sometimes shit's gonna happen. So now you need to really pay attention to how you can really kind of tune in and really be patient with yourself and others. And diplomacy. I don't really know what that means actually. I wrote it down and I thought I remembered what it means, but your girl has a hard time with reading comprehension and vocabulary. Diplomacy is the largely 17th century European or originated, I can't read, art and science of managing international relations through dialogue, negotiation, and nonviolent measures. Okay, I'm just thinking instead of diplomacy, learn a new language. That's what's coming up for me. I've been learning Japanese recently on Duolingo. Super fun. Um, honestly, just do that. For all that government shit and politics. I just don't follow politics, so I'm being real. But for diplomacy here, I'm thinking more like learn a new language, download Duolingo every single morning or before you go to bed, learn something new. It's time to be learning, okay? I feel like some of us have been wanting to research some things. I know I have. I have a list of things I've been wanting to research. Like, I have no idea about some, like, Greek mythology stories. And I really just want to dive deep into reading about Greek mythology stories. Or just reading more books in general. That's another thing I need to do. Oof, I haven't read in so long. But I did I did borrow a couple of books from my library this past weekend. Still haven't started them. But, but, girl will tonight. And it's manga too, so it's basically like a picture book, so I have no excuses. Oh gee, I remember I played a game that labeled me as a diplomatic party animal, and I completely forgot. Yeah, same. Words be hard, man. Alright. We have these last 2 decks before I get off of here. Some self-care to end us off here. So this one's a mix of like self-care affirmations. So let's see what comes up. Nourish your body with high vibing energy. Choosing a healthier option. Eating more fruits and veggies. That's what I'm seeing here. I also have awaken your authentic self and be true to you. Literally, girls, go to your vanity more often. Go to your mirror more often. You know, make a daily routine with yourself to really connect with that. I literally have a vanity in the other room, and I don't even really sit at it anymore. I sit on my bed. Like, I have a whole ass, you know, thing about that. Oh, gee, that makes me think about Mythology Island on Pop Tropica. I remember that! It might still exist. I know in Adobe Flash. Where is it? I'd have to look into that. Oh my god, Pop Tropica was my shit growing up. Alright, what else? Gratitude Rampage. List 10 things you're thankful for. Gratitude is the attitude, okay? Writing in your journal things that you're grateful for. I do this every once in a while. It's actually a really great practice. Anything else, Spirit? We got keep your thoughts positive. We were talking about that mental declutter, you know? Really working on that. Maybe even looking up some books or synopsises of books about changing your mindset and really rewiring your brain. Also, EMDR has really helped me for that. So, highly recommend to anybody who struggles with not having or struggling with rewiring your brain on your own. Highly recommend EMDR. Look it up. I won't be able to get into it now, but any other messages, Spirit? We have step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Okay? Just have a new perspective on it. Do something different. You know, change up your routine a little bit. And lastly, commit to self-care rituals. Literally, we're about to get into that, Spirit. Thank you. So literally, these next two cards, which is the last deck that I have, are the literal concrete. I'm going to give you guys 6 cards, okay? 6 self-care items to do. 6 is like my lucky number. I feel like we're kind of in that lucky time right now with St. Patrick's Day coming up. So, let's see. What are the 6 things we need to do to take care of ourselves? Number 1, connect with your womb. This goes into a lot of different things. So for this one in particular, if you're a girl like me that's starting her time of the month, I really suggest you really take care of yourself during this time right now, okay? I feel like a lot of us are shedding that friend renaissance, lol. Nice. So just take care of yourself, you know? If it's coming, or if it already happened, no matter what. Like, if you're a female, just really kind of, like, take care of yourself in that aspect. When was the last time you went to the gynecologist and got an exam? I won't say the term, but exam. I literally just did that, and I hate doing it, but it's gotta get done. Watch a movie. Literally, I just bought, like, a bunch of DVDs recently, and I need to go through them. So, definitely gonna watch a movie. Tori, would you like to watch a movie together tomorrow? I have a big selection. After our smoke sesh, we can watch a movie. That would be fun. But yeah, watch a movie. Just like really submerge yourself into a different world to like change your perspective and shit. Clean your space. As we were talking about with organizing, decluttering, all of that, cleansing your space, literally cleaning your windows, which is something I need to do. I've been opening up my windows the last couple of days just because of how nice it is out. But definitely cleansing your space, really decluttering. And what I mean by cleaning your space, like literally clean your room. When was the last time you did that? Clean your space. Organize art supplies or organize your clothes, whatever that may be. Okay? It's also saying here to clean your windows, especially with the spring weather coming in a little bit. Definitely a time to do that, to cleanse. Alright, we got our last 3 cards right here. First one. Not just sex, but make yourself feel sexy even, is what I kind of take this card as. You are a sexy ass diva, okay? And you need to remember that. So, this doesn't necessarily mean doing the act. Why am I keep showing it? Doesn't necessarily mean doing it. I mean, maybe. If you have a partner. But if not, then I'd highly recommend just kind of making yourself feel sexy. And whatever that means to you. There's loads of different ways. Use your hands. Maybe that's the thing to make yourself feel sexy. Okay, stop. Use your hands. Maybe do some clay crafts. I've been wanting to do this, like do more like air dry clay stuff. That's what I'm seeing with this one. Maybe learning how to do pottery is one of the things that you've been wanting to do. Ooh, going to one of those, like, you pick out a pottery thing and you paint it and then they dry it for you and then you go pick it up. I want to do one of those so bad again. Me and Anthony love doing that sort of shit. I was just thinking I should watch when Marnie was there, unless I'm gonna watch it tomorrow is what I was typing while you just said that. I've actually never seen that movie. What is that about? And where can I watch it? But I also have a load of DVDs too. Yeah, maybe you and me and Maura and Nicole and maybe Anthony if he's around. We could all just go do that together. And even John's invited too. What the fuck? Um, I feel that LOL. Like I generally need at least one day a month of fab makeup look to make me feel hot. The same. HBO Max. Okay, I have HBO Max. Maybe we can watch that together tomorrow. I'm interested. And last but not least, sync with the moon. So as I've been talking about this whole entire time, with the planets and the moon and stuff, like really taking into consideration all those things. I'm just gonna get one more actually, because I feel like we talked a lot about syncing with the moon. Flow like water. Go with the flow, okay? If there's one thing you could take from this whole entire live stream, it's to go with the flow. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You know, go with the flow of it. Find your flow even during the springtime, okay? Whew. That was some really deep messages, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I haven't done a mental health live in a hot minute, and I wanted to come on here and do this for you guys. I plan on doing this monthly, so definitely tune back in about a month. I think my next one, like I said, I already kind of did some planning stuff. Oh, actually, I forgot about this. I plan on doing one in actually a couple of weeks. So if you guys are interested, I will be doing a live stream on the 26th, which is a Thursday, yeah. So on that Thursday night, we will be doing another live stream. So super fun, kind of the same thing as this, where we do some journaling. Maybe I'll add in some coloring next time instead of a tarot reading. How about that? Because we already kind of did that kind of, you know, setting intention thing. And the next one we could just focus on journaling and coloring. Oh, I've been wanting to start a coloring journal for myself. So maybe that could be something that I could start too in the live to kind of show you guys, because I've been wanting to do that again. Getting a lot of inspiration from some of my coloring friends. Just to kind of journal, like kind of keep track of my coloring stuff. So yeah, maybe we could do that during the live stream, and then also do some coloring as well and chatting. That one will definitely be a longer one too, because I will be home alone. So that will definitely be a longer stream as well. So definitely come on by. Might be like a 2-hour stream or a 3-hour stream, who knows. Probably 2 hours is probably as long as I can take. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I will be live again on March 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I hope that you guys can join me then. If not, I will not be posting another video until my vlog that I'll be posting on St. Patrick's Day. So I'll be vlogging over the next few days at least. And then it'll be up on St. Patrick's Day in about a week. So I hope you guys are excited for that. And Tori, before I go, would you mind if I vlogged when we hung out? Like just showing like me doing my coloring thing. It won't be long. It'll literally just be like, hey, what's up? Look at what we're doing, kind of a thing. I'm gonna do an intro tomorrow, but you know, it would just literally be like us hanging out. Okay, cool. And you'll be featured. Yeah. So yeah, so that is the next video I have planned. So that is literally my thing, and it's gonna be all about, I mean, it's gonna be kind of themed prepping for spring, but for the most part, it'll just be what I do on a daily basis, what I've been doing. And there'll be a concert clip of me at 3 Days Grace this weekend. So exciting. I love doing vlogs. I feel like I haven't done one in a long time, and I miss it. So we're gonna do it again. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. There'll be something for everybody in that vlog. I'm going to include some cleaning stuff, some coloring, some concert stuff, some me hanging out with my friends and my boyfriend and stuff. There'll be a lot. There'll be a lot for you guys to enjoy, and I'm so excited. But yes, I'm going to go now. It's time for me to wind down for the night, as I will be getting up early for a meditation group. But Tori, feel free to message me. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you guys all in the next video, which is going to be my vlog in about a week. See you guys then. Bye!